So in theaters now, or streaming if you watch this later, or on home video, or however you watch movies, available, let's say now, whenever you watch this now or in the future, is the film entitled Dumb Money. This is based on a true story about that whole GameStop thing that happened a couple of years ago. That whole, all kinds of people buying GameStop stock and the price going way, way up, and those people potentially making a whole lot of money, much to the confusion and consternation of the financial industry as a whole. Now, okay, I'm going to get out in front of this. I don't really understand the stock thing. I don't understand finance. I don't understand all the stuff that people who do or don't have money do with the money they may or may not have. So this film was going to be a bit of an education for me. The main reason I went to see it was I remember hearing about this news story, but I didn't follow it, and I wanted to know, what was this thing really all about? Or at least, what is the bare bones of what this is all about? Because anything that's based on a true story, the keyword is based on. Sometimes they're very accurate, sometimes they're not. I have not had a chance thus far to see how accurate the movie is, but this does do one of those things that I do so love about films that are based on true stories, and that is, under the end credits, they tell you what happened to everybody, and they show you actual photos and clips of these people doing what they did. And in this case, the film did a pretty accurate recreation of some of those things that were done. So, but what is this story about? Paul Dano stars as this guy who does a YouTube thing. He does, or Reddit, he does online streaming content where he talks about stocks, and he's silly, and he likes kitty cats, and he gives people stock tips, or where he just says what he likes. And maybe you should try to buy some of that too. And he picks GameStop to be that stock. GameStop, the well-known video store chain, not a video store, video game store chain. And a lot of people who are his followers jump on this. And as I said earlier, the price of the stock goes up and up and up, and it worries some Wall Street fat cats, some hedge fund people who don't understand why this is happening. They have put their money on this stock not doing well, this company not doing well, and all of these individual normal people making a lot of money is causing these very few very rich people to lose money, and that will not stand. So that's the basic idea of this film. It is one of those, I don't want to say rags to riches. I don't want to give anything away, and I don't necessarily say that that's what this movie is, but it's a movie about normal people trying to get out of their situation by coming together and fighting the system, and sometimes the system fights back. So it is a comedy, sort of. It's sort of dramatic in points, but overall it's pretty light in tone. Cast of familiar faces. You've got Paul Dano, as I mentioned. You've got Shailene Woodley. You've got Seth Rogen. You've got Pete Davidson. You've got Sebastian Stan. Yes, the Winter Soldier himself. You have, just a whole lot of people whose names don't come to mind, but let it be a surprise. Let it be a surprise, these people you see. So let's go back. So I saw the trailer for this movie, and it did not look good to me. The trailer was a red band trailer. If you don't know what that means, a red band trailer means it is usually a trailer comes up and it says the following preview has been approved for all audiences, and it's on a green background. A red band trailer is on a red background, and it's only for play for grown-up audiences. It only plays in front of like R-rated movies, and it usually means it's going to be loaded with a lot of profanity. Usually, they don't usually put nudity in a red band trailer, and sometimes they put a little violence. I always look at a red band trailer and think, my gut reaction is always, okay, you're trying really hard to sell this movie in a way that you can't to normal people, so you're just going to put a lot of profanity in it. And when I watch those trailers, this was the case for this Dumb Money trailer. I'm like, wow, they say the F word in that movie. I really want to see this movie because apparently they say the F word a lot in it. Boy, that really makes me want to see it. I'm always like, what audience is like, but apparently there might be some people who are swayed simply by the fact that a film has a lot of profanity in it, because that's usually all red band trailers have to offer. The movie does not fail to deliver on that promise. There's a whole lot of cussing in this film. And as I say, I'm as foul-mouthed as the next person, maybe even more so sometimes, but in a movie, a lot of times it just feels phony after a while, where it's just F, this and that. It's not that bad, but it's certainly present. The soundtrack is all rap. It is all very foul-mouthed rap, which again makes me sound L7, but I'm not a fan of rap, and so the presence of it, I was like, here we go. And then it's just the crudest stuff. And I know what it is. It's supposed to be funny because you're talking about finance and you're talking about, silly, nerdy people doing their thing, and it's really like a wild, hilarious contrast to put that music over it. I didn't think so. It just kind of bugged me. The movie was okay. I still was a little confused about some of the financial machinations because, as I said up front, I don't really understand stocks in the market and hedge funds and and capital this and all that other stuff. So I had kind of hoped the movie would explain it a little bit better for me. I give it credit that it doesn't dumb it down, and it doesn't take 10 minutes up front to give you a PowerPoint about what's going on here. But for schmoes and dippity-doos like me who don't understand this kind of thing, there was some still fuzziness in it for me. But overall, it was, I mean, movies are made for people to understand. Movies are generally not made to exclude people, because movies are made to make money. So it tells the story well. The leads are likable. Most of them, Pete Davidson's character was like mega annoying, and he's supposed to be, and it's a successfully annoying character. But every time he was on screen, I just wanted the scene to be over with and to move on. Clancy Brown plays the father of Pete Davidson and Paul Dano, and he was cool to see. He's always cool. And again, as I said, there's some other familiar faces here and there, but it's otherwise it's a fairly small story. The idea is that you have Dano in his basement giving these proclamations about stocks, and then you follow in little vignettes and snippets the lives of all these other normal people who watch him and decide to go in on it. You have a couple of college girls who are following this. You've got a ER nurse. You've got a guy who works at a GameStop, funny enough. And they're all people of relatively meager means. As the film starts, they show everybody's net worth, and a lot of them are in the negative, a little or a lot. And you can see how much that this successful coming together of the people to make some money might actually change the lives of these people, and how it's very interesting. It's interestingly done. As I said, I have not verified the accuracy of this film at all. My guess is that a lot of the vignettes are probably more fiction than anything else, but it looks like the main core of the story is accurate. Anyway, it's a movie about finance that says the F word a lot and has a lot of rap in it, so that might be appealing to you. I went to see it on a weekday matinee at like 4 p.m., and there was probably a good 20 people in the theater, so this is appealing to somebody. When I went to the theater, it was funny. It was at a theater, you know, it's like a 16-plex or something. It was, the auditorium was all the way down the hall. And usually the ones that are at the end of the hall are like the really tiny ones. So I'm like, this is this weird comedy about finance, and they've stuck it in the smallest theater. And I walked in, and it was a huge theater, and a bunch of people showed up. So that's cool. Anyway, available now for your viewing pleasure, a film about stocks with a lot of cussing in it, Dumb Money.